If the zombies want me this time, they're gonna have to get on all fours and earn it. How you doing? I'm Rebel, and welcome back to 7 Days. Today, I'm testing out a new horde base concept. It's a low clearance crawl tunnel that forces every undead freak to shimmy their way to me. No sprinting, no stumbling, just a creepy crawl conga line of doom. Let's see if they can handle it. Or if I just built myself a really stupid hallway. So I started over here in my measuring tape area, and just to try to get like a basic concept of what I was trying to go for. And I think what I'm going to end up using is these poles here. The poles and the narrow blocks that will actually help the zombies get down to a crawl. Now, as a player, we can't squeeze through this, but I'm pretty sure the zombies can. So I got one feral Arlene spawned in. Let's get her attention, make sure she can actually make this pathway. This is just the base concept. Hello, Arlene. Are you alive? Where'd she go? Hey. Over here, stupid. There we go. She just didn't want to even try. There we go, perfect. Gets on her knees, starts crawling, then the float. We're gonna have to do something to fix that float. I don't want her to float at all. I want her to just... She's very confused. All right, but the concept is solid. All right, I picked out my spot right here in front of all the other bases, and I think we're just gonna start building right here. I am gonna start this build with the bunker though, rather than their pathway in, because I want my bunker to be basically what I'm mainly focusing on. And recently I had a comment asking why some of the zombies just go for their pillars rather than their actual approach. You have to remember that the zombies will always take the path of least resistance. So if your barrier between you and the zombies is weak, or is too strong, the zombies aren't going to go for that. They're going to go for your pillars. So you always want to make the actual barrier that's between you and the zombies the weakest path for the zombies to get to, but strong enough to hold them back. It's a very fine balancing act. Who's growling at me over there? There we go. Hi, how you doing? Juked me. Another tip that you can do to actually strengthen your pillars is submerge them into the ground so that the zombies have a harder time attacking the pillars. One of the other strategies that I use to make sure that the zombies go for my fighting position over my barrier, darn it, that was in the wrong spot, is I double thick essentially the first two layers of blocks. So all of these blocks, if this is our bunker, too high, this is all going to be completely filled into concrete. So the zombies see that if they are going to beat down my bunker, they're going to have to beat through pretty much like 80% of all of the pillars that are in the ground. Easier to show than it is to explain. So if this is my fighting position, I've dug everything just one block into the ground. I think one wall is 2 blocks, and I think this one's 2 blocks into the ground, but everything else is just 1 block into the ground. And then I fill the entire bottom 2 layers up with concrete, just so that the zombies will have to beat through every single one of these blocks in order to get my bunker to collapse. And since this one is so low to the ground, I can almost jump it myself. I'm actually going to make this one 3 high. So from the ground level up to your bunker should be at the minimum the lowest 2 blocks, sometimes 3. It depends on how the ground is shaped. If the ground isn't even, so like this side right here, if you look, it's a little bit, the ground is a little bit higher than this side. So what I tend to do is every once in a while, I'll go 3 high, just depending on what the ground level is at. And that kind of deters the zombies from beating away at the foundation. Yes, it costs more resources. Yes, it's not always necessary. But it also ensures that the zombies will not attack your bunker. One of the other things that I do is from the side of the base that the zombies are going to be attacking from, I use one solid wall. And the reasoning for that is because if the zombies do fall off the pathway, so if this is my entrance right here, if the zombies falling off the pathway, they're going to fall down here, and there's no way for them to reach inside this area. If this was my fighting area, let me change this to, if I just made it just like that, and the zombies were approaching this way, and they fell down onto here, they can beat away at the two pillars and then collapse the entire foundation. So the very face of that block is freaking out. The very face of the base, I always make a solid, or I try to always make a solid wall, or just something that the zombies can't access the pillars. It doesn't have to be a solid wall. You can use triangle blocks, doesn't matter. And the zombies' pathway is going to be slightly elevated to my floor, just so that I perfectly line up with their level. So when I'm shooting, I don't have to crouch, I don't have to duck. I want everything to be on a straight level for me. I don't care about the zombies. Because my base is an even number of blocks across, I'm guessing this is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Because my base is an even number of blocks across, I don't have like a center. The center would be in between these two blocks. And so in order to fix that for me, I'm just gonna, you can either remove a level or add a level. Now, we have an odd number that's right dead center in the middle of the path. That's what I was going for. And I found that if you are making a crawling base, the best placement for your floor is one block. It's like 1.5 blocks, to be honest. 1.5 blocks under the zombie pathway. You could see I'd be staring straight down if there was a path here. So for their pathway, we're going to be using narrow wedge tip right in the center, and then the concrete pillar quarter triple. It's a mouthful. That's going to be zombie pathway in. So if you could see, if they're crawling, I am right at like shoulder level with them. One of the other things that I noticed is that some of the zombies refuse to crouch, but we have a way of fixing that. They're still not going to crouch. However, we're going to have a way to deal with them as they're approaching us. And the way that we deal with that is pretty simple. It's you make the start of the actual zombie crawl somewhere where you have the opportunity to be able to attack from. So if the zombies are here, obviously I'm going to be fighting here, but because they're going to be crouching, I'm not going to be able to kill the direwolves or the demolitioners. So what I'm going to do is make the start position for the crawl over here. It's going to be on each side. I'm going to have two sides. The crawl isn't going to start until they reach right here. So the demos should get hung up right here trying to get in the crawl, where I should have no problem turning to the right, taking the demos out. All right, it's starting to take shape. It's got a long way to go because we're still going to have to build in the ceiling to make the zombies actually crouch, and their stairway, which I'm going to start working on their stairway now. That looks uneven, doesn't it? The right side looks longer than the left side. Ooh, that's going to make me mad. All right, I had to do some reconfiguring because the base wasn't, and not that this is super important. It doesn't really bother me that much. It bothers, I'm more lazy than I am caring about symmetry. Now, that should be perfectly symmetrical. Yeah, 8 and 8. So now, from this block to here should be 25. Yep, 25. And then from the base to the pillar should be 8. Correct. This side to this pillar should be 8. It is. And then from the center line to here, it's 13, and then it should be 13 going the other way. 12. Oh, I'm one short. There we go. 13. Yeah, I didn't really work out their stairway. I didn't really work out a pathway for them. I think what I'm gonna do is just build them one stairway on a 3 wide, one stairway that's 3 wide, but give them two splitting pathways that they can take to get to me. All right, so we got the stairway built, we got their pathway built. Now we just have to make sure that they'll actually take the pathway to get in. All right, that's gonna do it. Let's make sure that Arlene, excuse me, pause for a minute. Let me get into position here. I'm afraid what she's gonna do right now is jump up and just try to long jump her way. Need to get her attention somehow. So far, so good. Good. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. You're all gonna have to crawl. Infection and everything. I did hear her beating on something though before she got to me. So let me detach, drop in some feral Arlenes just so that I can actually see what they're actually beating at. And then see where they go. They all just went straight in. Good. Thank you for your service, Arlene. I appreciate it. You can go away now. All right, now here's the tough part. Gotta make them crawl. All right, so now in order to get them to crawl, gonna have to build them a, kind of like a pillared archway that's gonna force them down. And I need to be able to see the zombie as they start to crawl, because if not, that means the demo can get in. Pushes me down. Perfect. And to start pushing them down, I'm gonna be using this narrow block. It is called the concrete wedge narrow tip. And after we get the concrete wedge narrow tip in there, we're going to continue to use the narrow blocks. You can also place them vertically to make slides. It's pretty fun. I'm pushing them up and pushing them down at the same time. This one here pushes them up, and these blocks push them down. Think that will just about cover it, and once we get that block in place, we can use these, which are the 3/4 blocks. All right, so that right there should force the zombies into a crawl. I can't even get through there. Let's see if we can get a feral Arlene to fit through. She's probably gonna go that way, I'm guessing. Turn AI on, give her a shot. Yeah, see, they all go to the non-crawl. Figures. Not what we needed. Let's do an easy replacement here. Try again. Now, they should all go to the right. Or just fall right off the edge. Is that too narrow for you? Maybe. I made it too narrow. So if we delete these two and then throw in, rather than the 3/4 block, we're gonna go with half cube. That might work. All right, let's try this again. She comes up and just right over the edge. Ma'am, you made it. That was quite a jump. We're gonna have to put a wall there. And the rest of them just start beating away the foundation. That is not what we want. What am I missing here? Something's not right. I'm gonna try something. It's gonna break the system a little bit. Rather than having them go up and down, I'm gonna take these and just go straight across with them. See how they deal with that, because I think that might be part of the reasoning why they're not pathing the way that we need them to. That's what it was. They didn't have enough space. All right, so what if now we took this block with the 3/4 block? See if that did anything. See if that did it. Maybe it was just because they didn't like going up and down. Must have been it. Much better. Zombie crawl. And obviously, I don't have anything protecting me right now. No barrier. Alright, I think I got the whole thing worked out. I haven't tested it, but can attack them from when they enter. This right here might be a problem, because if the demos do enter and they get to like in between that barrier, I might have to minimize that pillar. I might have to put in like a pull side center on this side, or I can put a pull side center on both sides. This way we don't lose stability and we can still see pretty well. Yeah, it doesn't really look as nice as I'd like it to with the pull side center there. It just, for some reason, it just doesn't look like it fits. But that's the only way that I could think of to keep our visibility high and being able to shoot the demos and direwolves when they come in to try to do the crawl, because they're not going to be able to do it. This side, I have to be very careful with the demo because his button is going to be on the right side. So if he's over here, that button is pretty vulnerable to me hitting it. All right, I made it a little bit different. They still have this big opening here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Man, so much testing. I'm still gonna have to delete this right side here. This whole right side. That vertical pathway, for whatever reason, they're not happy with it. That should have solved the issue. We're gonna put Robo Sledge right here on the edge. But now, for our bunker, what we're gonna do is use the V2, if you guys don't know, let me show you more than that. Catwalk V1, rail only. We're gonna rotate this in the proper orientation. I know it's not even, but I don't want anything blocking my line of sight from headshots. And then we're also going to take the scaffolding ladders. There. Now my view is not obstructed at all. I want to be able to completely stop any zombies from being able to spit at me from behind. I could probably do the same on this side and that side, so if I just hear a demo coming, I have a better idea though. Rather than shutters, what we're going to use is a door. This way, I have full access to shoot. I can close the doors, close their view off, just in case there is a cop that's spitting at me. I can keep these shut and only attack when the direwolf or demo shows up. Same thing with the back. And last video I was telling you that the 0 key didn't work for me anymore for the little info box that you get. This info box right there, for whatever reason, every button I was hitting did not work. But now, for whatever reason, the 0 key works just fine. So I think it was just a glitch that for whatever reason, it wasn't working. Maybe it was numlock. That has to be what it was. Numlock was off. Yeah, that's absolutely what it was. The numlock was off. All right. I know you see me. Have a nice day. So I think this is gonna work. I'm gonna double up this top wall just to make it look a little bit more uniform throughout, and paint it and send in the horde. That should be about it. Easy peasy. And I'm just now realizing that it's Halloween. So if you are the type of person that goes all out and has fun and goes trick-or-treating, celebrates, I would love to see your costume. And if you don't have pictures of your costume, that's also fine. Go on to the Discord and just go into the general chat. Let me know what you're going as. I want to know if there's any 7 days cosplayers out there or anything. I see a whole bunch of Trader Rex dressed up. Just a bunch of grumpy old men, right? I'll give you a little sneak peek at what I am dressed up for as Halloween. And you're looking at it. I have to go to work on Halloween just like every other year. I always work on Halloween just so that people with kids can actually spend time with their families on Halloween. Here's the catch though. I expect them to do the same for me on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Just need to paint the inside of my bunker and we're ready to go. All right, I think now the whole thing is painted up. We have a way in and out of our base. That ladder, I'm not gonna be able to reach it from the ground floor. So if I do fall out of my base or if the base collapses and I need to get into like the top part, I have to come up the stairs and jump. I don't think I actually need that ladder, to be honest, but the only reason I'm keeping it there is so that if I need to get down a little bit without taking damage, I can, because I have no fall resistance whatsoever. But I think this is gonna be about it. I just need to throw some spikes on the roof and send in the horde. All right, we got spikes on the roof, we got lights. Let's start up horde night. Creative mode off, dev mode off. Let's take a look at our inventory. We got a couple melee, couple firearms, enough ammo for an army. We got concrete for repairs, a nail gun, yucca juice, bacon and eggs, repair kits for weapons, couple extra wood spikes just in case I do get overwhelmed. I can throw some spikes on their walkway to slow them down a little bit. All right, I think we're ready. Let's set time, day 70, 21:58. Welcome to the Crawling Horde Base. Really hope this works. Come on up. Where you at? Come and get it. They're beating away at my foundation, aren't they? Why are they just beating away at the foundation? Go. No. Oh, yeah. This guy's got the right idea. There we go. We have one smart zombie. Robo, where you at, buddy? You want to help me out? I hope they stopped beating away at the foundation. Looks like they gained some brains. Not many. I don't know if this is gonna go very well. They're building up real quick. Gotta clear them out. Clear out what little amount of them I can. This is gonna go horribly wrong. 22 minutes into Horde Night and they're already attacking like crazy. I'm gonna need to get my nail gun out and ready. Yeah, they're tearing away at the base. They are not a fan of crawling. That's for sure. No problems here yet. No problems there yet. Squeeze through. Scumbag. Sir. Come on. Twitchy Tom. Janitor, businessman, puppo. Booger, get out of here. How you doing, buddy? Phasing through? Not on my watch. Can you get out of the way? Gotta make sure just no demos are beaten away, man. That's my big concern, is those demos getting hung up on the crawl section. I need to repair, is what I need to do. Let's clear these guys out and repair the base. All right, cleared them out enough. Lumberjack, get your crotch out of my face. I see a white in there. Somebody's crawling. Must have lost his legs somehow. Yep. He can just sit around in there and crawl for it. Darn it, they broke through. Luckily, I got a second barrier, but this barrier is not going to be that helpful. Got 3 hours to go. I got to keep them back. I'm going to have to bail. This is too much. I'm gonna have to bail, lure them away, and see if I can reset them. Whew. I gotta repair, man. You guys. That crawler has been down there for a while, man. These irradiated. Come on, get out of here. Irradiated, charged, infernals. I know. Come on, we can do this. White, you're a problem, buddy. He made it through. Need to repair this. I heard a cop beating, I think. I really need to repair. Come on, don't break through. Don't break through. Be good little zombies and hold off for me. Insane. This did not go how I'm planned on it going. Luckily for me, I had this second barrier, but there is gonna come a point where I gotta bail. There's just way too many built up in here. I'm just trying to hold them off as long as I can. I'm surprised nobody has squeezed through. One or two. Hi. Yep. Took a hit from the back. That's fine. Squeezing through. Did they break through? They broke through. I'm out. Yeah, I know. I know. I don't have my health kits on me. Am I gonna be able to eat it? I'm not gonna be able to eat it. One. I knew it was gonna happen, man. They got way too overwhelmed. They overwhelmed me way too quickly. Just the way it goes sometimes. Let's see what they did and see if I can repair it. That was rough. I know a flaw, a major flaw. A big part of the problem was their pathway is way too wide. They were all bunching up, and the barrier that lets them in should be on this wall, not on my inside wall. All right, see where that block is? The V2 rail, this thing? That should be on the outside. All right, let me finish repairing this so we can try again. On the plus side, it looks like the majority of my pillars and pathways were untouched. They took out one block right here in the corner, and that was it. We made it almost all the way through Horde Night. I think we had like two or 3 hours left to go, and we would have been fine. Just in this final stretch here, I'm gonna get rid of these pipes and put in the pull side center just to give them a narrower pathway so that they don't get bunched up and they don't fall. This right here was the main problem, is they were all making it into this little area, into this little box that I have here. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to destroy these, and I'm gonna put these against the wall. I think that's all I need to do. Anything more is overkill. I think that those subtle changes, making this pathway smaller, changing the setup on the inside, I think that should actually significantly improve our chances on Horde Night. All right, I think we're all situated. I got everything repaired, everything reloaded. Try this again. Dev mode off, creative mode off, set time, day 70, 21:58. Let's see if those subtle changes make a big impact. Welcome to the Crawling Horde Base. Take 2. This way, fellas. Got him. Got some smart zombies. Ah! What a jerk. Fatigue already. Throw a spike in the way. There's a demo. Loosen him up a little bit. Robo's already on it. Oh, the demo. Demo's not gonna make it through. Oh, he must have fallen. I'll take that. So narrowing this walkway here and changing the position of this, they're not allowed to get into this box. Huge difference. Such a small little change, such a big impact. See, the demo can't get through. So he just kind of pushes and holds everybody up. Take out your kneecaps, man. There we go. Thanks, Robo. You were causing me problems. Hey, you hit the spike. I started to talk about it. I don't know if I finished it. So in previous recent versions, so like version 2.0, I think, and higher, the zombie spawn rate wasn't adjusted right or something. I think it was it was intentionally done, I believe, for optimization reasons. So it would feel like you have 64 zombies, but there never really were. But now, I think they readjusted it back to the original 64 zombies spawn. It's just more fun with 64 coming at you at the same time. I heard a block break. Yay, you broke a block, and now you have to come and get me. Either way, you're gonna have to beat me. One way or the other, you might as well just go the path that we need you to take. Repairs. World of difference. Changing that one block. I will say, though, even though that one block was the biggest problem, I did a pretty decent job holding them off. For as long as I did, obviously there was a fault in the base, but I think I did a pretty decent job holding them off. Robo's putting in the work. Everybody's pitching in now. And this base is only 7, I think, high. 7 off the ground. So they are 100% going into destroy everything mode, which is why the bottom of my base is, I'm sure, getting chewed through. I don't have a 15 block fall. They're not taking damage on the way down. If they're not getting hit by Robo, they're definitely 100% going into destroy everything mode. Ooh, that block's almost broke. That block's almost broke. Can't. No, 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 no. Back. Back, demons. Back. I saw the cracks. Ah! That was bad place, bad timing. Frostclaw. First Frostclaw we saw. Naturally spawn in. Almost there. Another Frostclaw just hanging out in the background there. I'm noticing a little bit of cracks in my V2 rail. Frostclaw trying, failing. Thank you. Appreciate it, Robo. Can I get a couple more? Trying to clear this out here, buddy. Come on. You guys don't stand a chance. You haven't chewed through the foundation yet. You're not going to. I got this. Come on, reload. All these guys having a rough time. Let's check out what time it is. 2 minutes to Horde Night. I think we can manage. 1 minute. There is Horde Night. You guys all failed. You won one and lost one. It's a tie. All the radiateds, I want to take out. I don't want to have to deal with them more than once. Just once is enough. Let's take a look at the damage. Oof. Oh, they ate away a lot at this base. But that is the point of making a one solid concrete block that is 3 high, 2 to 3 high, depending on the elevation of the ground. If this was just one pillar, I'd have been done for. There it is. The Night 70 Blood Moon is done, and the Crawlspace proved to be exactly the deadly bottleneck we were hoping for. Now, it wasn't all smooth sailing. That first push when the zombies finally chewed through the initial barrier was pure chaos. But we took that failure, made one critical minor tweak to our last line of defense, and just like that, the entire horde was trapped in a slow-motion meat grinder, and the revenge was sweet. Could you survive a night of the undead crawling towards you? Let me know in the comments if you ever tried to force the zombies into a low-ceiling build. And once again, I hope everybody has a happy, safe, and fun Halloween. If you enjoyed watching the undead eat the dirt, you already know the rest of the deal. Like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace, I'm out of here.